listening to the J&D podcast. Relax and enjoy the show.
Yo, what up, guys? My name's Cody Jones, and welcome back to the J&D podcast. Normally, I would have my co-hosts Daquan Scott and Michael Clay, but because Michael often works a lot of the time, and Daquan he's out doing his own thing, which I have no problem with going solo on some of these episodes. It really gives me a chance to really just individualize in my content, because you know what? I want to let everyone know that I don't need co-hosts. I don't need guests to make the episodes interesting or to make the videos enjoyable to watch, that I can do well and handle my own, even as a fucking, a straight up solo dolo, you know what I mean? So, honestly, man, it has been some time since I've went solo for a bit, it's like normally I would have this phone sitting upright recording videos and shit, but because I'm taking a bit of a break from YouTube for a little bit, I figured that I just come back doing solo for a podcast episode or two, just really really just make it goddamn. I'm still just very new to this whole thing, man. But it's I was just listening to my homie Stephen M. Green, and I was really digging his podcast episodes and everything. It's some of the two of the people that he's interviewed, and I thought it was really cool and everything, man. And honestly, when he was talking about caffeine on his third episode, it kind of gave me an idea, you know what? I kind of want to do the same thing, talk about how I got started into being a fucking energy drinkaholic, and also just I talk about the shit that's been going on while the J&D has been on a bit of a break, So it's basically I remember when I actually got into drinking energy drinks, I was probably I think I was probably in my 7th grade in, I want to say, Cactus, Palmdale. I fucking remember everything that went down in that school, man. A whole lot of shit that goes down. A whole lot of the people that I used to have beef with and shit. But it's at the same time, I was one of those dudes that just really kept to myself, kind of, It's I was a very shy dude when I go to new schools and everything. So it's I'm not familiar with these motherfuckers. I don't know any of these people. All these fucking strangers and shit. I don't fucking know any of them. Bunch of fucking weirdos for all I know. And honestly, man, honestly, I was very, to myself a lot when I was in school. And I probably only knew 2 people when I was in Cactus. And the only 2 people I knew, I've known them my entire life. Literally since the very first day of fucking kindergarten or 1st or 2nd grade or some shit. And I'm just gonna say their names, because I want to show love to the people that really been at my side. To my buddy Juan Mendoza in Palmdale High, Nothing but love for the dude. He's been at my side since second grade, man. Long ass motherfucking time. Dude has always been at my back. He was a real dude, you know? I mean, he's probably out doing his own thing in Palmdale. I haven't had any contact with him in a very, very long time. And if I remember, I think it was him that fucking got me into energy drinks. Because the thing is, I have a very lousy sleep schedule, even way back then, you know? Like, my sleep schedules were just shit. You know, always staying up late, longer than I should be, because I was a very energetic person, even back then. And I always arrived to school tired in the motherfucker, really sluggish, barely keeping my eyes open and shit. So, I remember one day, my buddy Juan came up to me and he said, "Hey man, you look tired of the motherfucker right now. You look really tired. Here, take a swig of this." And I didn't know what it was when I took a swig of it. So for all I know, it could have been fucking poison. It could have been liquor. It could have been anything because when I knew him, he was a real pothead weed smoker, you know? I mean, not that I ever really cared, you know? I mean, I knew a lot of people that smoked weed and shit. I never have a problem with it. I mean, even to this day, I still know some people that completely do it, and I'm just, hey, do your thing, man. I don't give a shit. And I never really have a problem being around them when they're having their smokes, you know? It's like, I don't really have a problem with the smell or anything. It's like, I grew up around that kind of environment. Like, not to say that I hung around with a bad group or anything. But I was very open with who I hung with, you know? It's like I hung with people that gangbanged. I hung with potheads. I hung with like the nerds, the athletes, the fucking photographers, you know? It's like I was a bouncer in high school. And like I really like it's not that I don't like staying in one group, but I love being around other groups of people, you know, it's like really expand my people skills, you know, like be around more people than I normally would, you know, so it's never really an issue with who I hang with who I talk to and all, you know, it's like I was social over the years. So one day he came up to me with an energy drink. It was a can of Monster or Rockstar, or Red Bull, or some bullshit like that. You know, I don't have a problem saying their names because it's not like the motherfuckers gonna sponsor me. But if you guys are listening, I'm always up for it. I'm always up to fucking like sponsor energy drinks. You know, especially Monster. I drink that shit like a lot. Like a lot more than I should. Like, I was fucking crazy with how many times I drank energy drinks. So, anyways, back to the story. When I took a swig of this, and again, this was back when I was in the seventh grade. So, I did not know what I was drinking, but he told me that it'll wake me up a bit. So I said, okay, fuck it. Pass me the drink. I took a swig. It really woke me up a moment. And so when I took another swig of it, I completely just kept the rest to myself. You know, I was a real stingy shit. You know, it's like like the thing is, we didn't have a problem like passing the drinks back to one another. Like here, you waterfall it, I'll waterfall it. You waterfall it, I'll waterfall it. You know, and a lot of times, I would drink more than he would want me to drink. You know, I was very selfish at the time back then. So when I took a swig, that shit woke me up just like that. I fell in love with the taste. It was the bomb for me. And here's the thing: I never had an energy drink before that day. I had no knowledge of energy drinks. I mean, I would see them in 7-Elevens and shit, but I would never touch them because I don't know what the fuck they were and didn't know what they did. So when I took a drink, I enjoyed the taste. I just completely downed that shit. And after that, we went to PE. I was wide awake. I fucking felt like the Flash drinking that shit. But over the years, I developed a habit of drinking more and more and more, and more and more and more. I fucking became a crackhead for energy drinks. And I remember our teachers telling us to lay off that shit, that it would like destroy your something. And I'm not gonna lie, that shit really like it's like throughout the rest of the day I'm sluggish again because of how much I would drink. And after that I just like I got over it. I mean, I continued buying more over the years, like always stopping at 7-Elevens, drinking a bunch. And by the time I was a freshman, again, I continued drinking a lot more, like to a very unhealthy amount. Like I used to buy like one of them big ass cans of Monster and 2 cans of Rock Stars sometimes. It's like I would just buy a fucking shit ton of energy drinks and chug them all in like one whole school day. It's like I'll chug one can that would get me through 3 periods and another can that would get me through the rest of the day. So I really had a problem with drinking the shit. I mean, and honestly, to the people that never drank it before, or to the people that drank it and have a problem with it, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's like it really does kind of fuck up your body, and it really, I guess, as Steven would say, caffeine really has like a downside to it. It's like with all this shit that it does to your body. I mean, and I'm pretty sure that the fucking energy drinks also kill your sperm count, and I know that for certain. Not that I would know from experience, but I research my shit. I fucking got knowledge. I Google shit. I trust what I read. So I kind of eased up on energy drinks for a while. For a year, maybe 2 years or so. So I completely cut myself off from drinking them for a bit. And after that, I went back to drinking more, but at a very healthy amount. And I started drinking other things that were much more healthy for me, like Arizona's, peace teas, um, tons of water, lots and lots of water. I probably should get back to drinking more water because as I'm getting older and still drinking at least 1 or 2 cans a day, that shit really does fuck up my body even to this day. It's like I do tell myself that I need to cut back on drinking this shit. This shit's fucking me up. But it's like at the same time, it's that caffeine addiction, man. It really destroys your body and shit. Like so over the years, I just completely like. I guess I can say that I just need to really take better care of my body more and more over the years, because the older I get, the more my body is just gonna wear out on me, It's like I don't really have the energy as I used to back then. And honestly, man, it's like with so much sugary drinks, soda, tea, energy. It's like I do try to cut back on the shit, and I really do try to just really ease up on what the fuck I'm drinking. And I do drink a whole lot more water, you know, like maybe once or twice a day, at least once, maybe more, you know. And I realize that I should be drinking a whole lot more water now more than ever, and I completely understand that, you know. So honestly, that's the whole story of my caffeine addiction. And honestly, before we get into another personal story, in the last episode, I did a segment called Go Home, where basically I would like talk about someone in the news, in music, gaming, whatever, you know, like anyone that's just worth mentioning, you know, any real shit ass motherfucker out there, you know, like honestly, if there's something that I disapprove, don't like, or think that this person really needs to get their shit straight, we'll just tell them to just fucking go home, think about what you done, get your shit straight, and come back to the world when you're fixed up, when we think that you're ready. And today's go home victim will be on none other than Takashi 69. Go home, motherfucker. Think about what you done, because honestly, when I heard about what happened at some fucking gym in LA, I completely like don't have a problem with him getting his ass whooped, you know? It's like I don't wish any ill will on anyone, but honestly, Takashi, if you're listening to this, my nigga, fucking go home, sit in the corner, think about what you done while you're fucking wiping up the blood off your face, and ask yourself, what did you do to get your ass whooped? You know? Go home and think about it, and come back to the world when you really thought hard and really just get your shit straight, man. I mean, you got your ass whooped, and you got it for a good reason, because you fucked up. You kept running your mouth and shit. You kept fucking starting problems with people, and look where the fuck that got you. So, honestly, man, again, if you're listening to this, fucking think about what you done. Go home, sit in the corner, fucking wipe up the blood and tears off your face, and come back when you think you really deserve to come back. You know, seriously, nigga, go home, nigga. Think about what you done. Alright, guys, with today's final story, I don't know if y'all watch any of the videos that I've uploaded a while ago. So there's some videos that I did, which is like basically a story time with Cody kind of thing that I done. I probably only uploaded 4 videos, but that's because some of the stories I have are either very long or some of them are just very short because there's not much to say. But there is one story. So basically, there is this story that I do want to discuss, which was my time living in Fresno. And I'm positive that I did do a video about this, but I'll probably just cut this story short because I don't know how many people have already heard this story before or not. But basically, when I was little, this was a little bit after I moved, like a little bit after 3rd or 4th grade, you know, so it's like it was a real disappointment because when I was in the 3rd grade, there was a girl that I really had a crush on named Jocelyn Gonzalez. I think she still lives in Palmdale to this day. I'm pretty sure. I mean, she probably has a child and everything, which, by the way, congrats on that. But basically, when I was in the third grade, I used to have a crush on her. So when I found out that I was moving out of Palmdale and moving into Fresno with my sister and parents, it was a disappointment. Really disappointment. And there was a lot of things I was really leaving behind. And honestly, it's like here's the thing. Moving, it ain't easy, man. It's rough. It sucks. You know? I mean, some people probably enjoy moving, like going to different places, new houses, new everything, and that's completely cool. If you like moving, then hey, that's on you, man. But me, when I moved, it was a bummer for me, and it's like the thing is, I really had a hard time with fitting in with people at the time. So basically, I went to a whole new school and moved into this like apartment complex. Oh, but before I continue this episode, I do want to give a very quick shout out because you know what? Like, I really want to just thank a lot of the people like involved in this whole podcasting thing, and one of them is the host of this very entertaining podcast. I think it was called GTFOH, which stands for Get the Fuck Out of Here. So I really want to uh, send a shout out to this dude, Recognize, and that is his name. Like WREKONIZE, so this dude, I've been a fan of this guy for a very long time. So I just want to give the dude a quick shout out, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, so I just want to like show love and support, to anyone that's involved in the whole entertainment and podcasting and everything. You know, I might do other shout outs in the future. I might not. I might even have other people join in as guests as I originally planned to. But that's just today's shout out. Recognize if you're listening, man. Again, just sending love and support from a fan. Anyways, Fresno. New school, new people, new place, shitty memories. It sucked. So basically, after we moved into an apartment complex, it was nice. It was really nice. Had a big old pool, hot tub, gym that I hardly ever, barely at all, ever went into or even used. And here's the thing, I was very scrawny back then. I was a scrawny boy. I didn't really exercise much or work out like anyone else would, and it made sense for a kid my age and size at the time. So my experience living there, it wasn't very easy. I wasn't really familiar with a lot of the people, and it's funny because you learn not to trust anyone or everyone because you'd be surprised with like who you keep in your circle and who you trust. So basically, I got into a fight here and there with some people, and I had some beefs. I've had my first kiss when I was in Fresno. It was nice. It was a truth or dare kind of thing, and I think her name was Deja something. It was Deja something. I don't fucking remember. And then there was this other girl that I didn't really care for, but I used to have the house for her mom. She was really attractive, especially for someone very underage. Especially for me being very underage, you know. So it's like I was a perv back then, you know, shockingly. So I've had my beefs, I've had my fights, and I've had my first kiss. And honestly, there were some good times, you know. I prefer to hold on to like some of the good memories I've had when I lived there. It was nice, you know. Made some cool friends, experienced a lot of really interesting things. I remember this one boy, he had a corn snake, um, and he actually just let me hold his corn snake. It was really cool. It was a very new experience for me because I never held or seen a snake physically up close, so it was quite the experience for me. And I also got into Xbox gaming because he had Call of Duty and I only had a Nintendo. You know, so I was always playing Mario 64 and he was always playing Halo or Modern Warfare or some shit like that. I don't remember. But I remember that he was really cool, you know. But fast forward a little bit of time, we moved out because one day we were coming back from Palmdale after celebrating Christmas with my siblings. And when we returned back to Fresno, we found our house robbed, emptied, sabotaged, and a lot of like things were taken away, you know. So I was really pissed off, and I trusted no one. I blamed a lot of people, especially since they stole things from me as well. So that shit was a very major downside for me. You know, it sucked. They fucking stole my PlayStation 2. They stole a lot of really good things from me. I really had a hard time trusting people, even after I moved back to Palmdale. Like, I really didn't know who to trust, and I was very short tempered, especially since I learned that you got to be careful with who you trust and who you keep in your circle, you know. So I made quite a few enemies even after everything because I mean, I was so young and I didn't know who to trust and who was going to be a problem and who was not. So I really closed myself off to some people, which wasn't fair, you know. It's like you cannot, like, keep to yourself all because you're afraid of trusting people because that's very closed minded and you never know uh, what kind of people you let in your circle, you know. It's like some of those people won't even be the people that will hurt you, they'll be the people that will bring you up. You know, a little advice from your friendly neighborhood Cody. You know, so you you learn, you grow, and yeah, you will experience some assholes here and there. But I mean, that's part of the whole experience of of socializing, socializing. God damn, I can't speak today. And honestly, I'm happy that I started to trust people again over the years, you know, because I finally uh, got together with my best friend again. And I completely started trusting people. But other than that, I mean, my experience in Fresno, it was a mixture of both good, a mixture of both, like, of enjoyable, but also upsetting. You know, but I completely just forgave and moved forward. And to the people who knew what happened, and honestly, if you guys are even listening after you robbed me, then just know, I mean, I completely forgive y'all, you know. Past is the past. I don't give a fuck and we all move forward, you know? So, and I guess that's just me on a personal level, you know? It's like I don't hold a grudge. Like, I don't hold grudges, you know? I forgive, I forget, I move forward. But if you continue to screw me over, do me wrong, and mistreat me, then next time I'm not even going to acknowledge your presence, or worse, we just might have beef. And that's just, it is what it is, you know? Anyways, man, it's like, honestly, there's not really much stories I can really tell at the moment or remember very much other than like stories that I've already mentioned before, either on the podcast or on the channel. But other than that, I mean, this is just another solo recording and all, you know. And honestly, it's really cool. And on that, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Also, again, thank you for listening to the J&D podcast. I love y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.